Hello, everyone, and welcome to the PPG Paints Arena, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins for Arena Championship Series Central. I'm Scott Jordan alongside Christina Moore. Tonight on Arena Championship Series Central, we kick it off with Monster Jam Racing, the racing bracket in round one. Wildside versus Soldier Fortune Black Ops, Terminal Velocity against El Toro Loco, Rammunition versus Gravedigger, and Raminator against Max D. The first 8 points of the event are up for grabs. We go down to the track for round one. Our first matchup, Tony Oaks and Soldier Fortune Black Ops up against Zach Garner in Wildside out of Fortville, Indiana. They are off the line. Wildside gets to the turn first, and Soldier Fortune spins out around the turn box, and this is going to be an easy win for Zach Garner. So Wildside advances to round two. Next up in round one, Elvis Linez El Toro Loco up against John Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity. John Zimmer only in his second year of competitive driving, and he gets off the line first. And El Toro Loco spins out the same spot Soldier Fortune Black Ops had issues, and Terminal Velocity gonna get the win and advance to round two. Next matchup here in round one, Kristen Anderson in Gravedigger. She goes up against Kurt Kramer in Rammunition. Kristen Anderson, one of the biggest stars on this series, the daughter of Dennis Anderson, legendary creator of Gravedigger. She inches her way around the turn, and that might work in her favor. Final turn for Gravedigger. And she will get the win as Kurt Kramer spins out all kinds of issues on that side of our track. Final matchup here in round one, Blake Granger in Max D up against Mark Hall in Raminator. Blake Granger edges his way over the turn. He hits the halfway point first, final turn, and Max D is going to get the win, so Blake Granger advances to round two of racing. Let's take a look at our semifinal bracket. It's Wildside against Terminal Velocity and Gravedigger against Max D. The winners of these two matchups will meet in the finals, and our winner of that matchup will be crowned our racing winner and take the driver's seat for the event championship. Up first here in the semi, Zach Garner in Wildside up against his teammate John Zimmer Jr. Terminal Velocity. Both these drivers representing Overboard Motorsports out of Fortville, Indiana. Wildside has the lead at the halfway point. Final turn and the finish. Wow, what a finish! We're going to have to take a look at the replay here. Super Glue glued to the action replay. Slow it down a little bit. I still can't call it. Let's back it up one more time. And by less than an inch, your winner, John Zimmer Jr. Terminal Velocity. What a finish. So Terminal Velocity heads up to the pod to await his opponent in the racing finals. Up next, Kristen Anderson in Gravedigger against Max D's Blake Granger, the biggest rivalry in motorsports. And Blake Granger is going to go over-rotated, trying to creep around the turn. And Kristen Anderson, by default, is going to advance to the final round. Super Glue glued to the action replay. Just went too wide on this deep, tacky track. Over-rotated the tires, and that is the difference. Let's take a look at our final racing bracket. It'll be Terminal Velocity up against Gravedigger. So John Zimmer Jr. and Kristen Anderson, two second-generation drivers going head-to-head for racing supremacy here in Pittsburgh. Final competitors are heading up to the starting line. Kristen Anderson and Gravedigger out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. And John Zimmer Jr., Terminal Velocity, also out of North Carolina. Here we go, racing finals. And it is Terminal Velocity with the lead at the halfway point. Final turn, and Anderson is going to go over same spot Granger did. And what a racing win for John Zimmer Jr. So Terminal Velocity gets the win. Take a look at the Super Glue glued to the action replay on that right front tire. A stoppie. You don't want to see that in racing. And John Zimmer Jr. gets the win. So 8 points going to John Zimmer Jr. Let's head down to the track with Christina Moore and our racing winner.
John, congratulations on that racing win. Can you talk us through the track right now? Because it seems like some of your other competitors, we saw Max D roll over, we saw Gravedigger, some of them got caught around that turn box. So what's your secret right now? How are you able to overcome the track?
Yeah, this track is super tacky, like Elvis was talking about earlier this afternoon. And so I knew coming into tonight, being smooth is going to be fast. Throwing it into these turns is definitely what you didn't want to do. As you can see, a couple trucks ended up rolling over. So the luck fell in my favor tonight, and I was able to pick up the win.
Let's take a look at the overall point standings here in Pittsburgh after one competition. John Zimmer Jr. with 8 points, Kristen Anderson 7, Blake Granger, Zach Garner each getting 4, and Elvis Linus, Tony Oaks, Mark Hall, and Kurt Kramer with 2 points apiece. 3 more competitions remain, and up next, the Great Clips 2-Wheel Skills Challenge. And up first, Tony Oaks, Soldier Fortune Black Ops. He gets 2 attempts at his most creative move on 2 wheels. Rises right down the pod into a stop. He edges out with a small nose wheelie, and now a moonwalk for Tony Oaks. Keeps it right there on the center of that ramp. And this is where skill comes into play. Look at Tony Oaks just inching that truck back all the way up, moonwalk all the way down, nose wheelie. And this is impressive. Now fans are going to have to go to work on this. Still going with the moonwalk. So a great attempt here from Tony Oaks, and a reverse stoppie on the backside of the pod. So a combo move. Now again, second attempt comes off the pod again with another stoppie back into the nose wheelie. Same attempt, but he's got that truck all the way up into an incredible angle. Slightly over, but catches it right on the front 2 tires. And Tony Oaks, Soldier Fortune Black Ops, great attempts here as we take a look at the Super Glue Glue to the Action replay, 8.031. Next up, Elvis Linus, El Toro Loco comes right off the pod into that stoppie. And now he's got a faster moonwalk as he starts edging into that throttle. Right up on the lip, he gets it right back up across the pod now, slow roll. And Elvis Linus coming right back up with a wheelie on the other side of the pod. Attempt number 2, reverse stoppie into a wheelie up on the pod. Not much room there as he can't get the traction, but here he comes again trying the same maneuver on the front side as we take a look at the Super Glue Glue to the Action replay. Great stoppie into moonwalk, 6.776. Our next competitor, Kurt Kramer in Rammunition, he goes for a sky wheelie off the double log stack, so something different for the fans here tonight in Pittsburgh. Second attempt, single log, same thing, tries for the sky wheelie, gets a wheelie on the backside of that combo move, and a 6.511 for Kurt Kramer. Next up is teammate Mark Hall, founder of Hall Brothers Racing, trying for a sky wheelie on attempt number 1. Going right back after it. This time he does get the air, does get the bounce. So a great sky wheelie on the second attempt. 5.701 is the score for Ramunator. Next up, Zach Garner, a wild side with a big popper. Try to get something after it, but the popper gets those back 2 tires back up on the pod. And then second attempt going for a reverse stoppie, but that pod, just that edge of that pod, nothing there with the dirt. 2.915. Kristen Anderson, a Gravedigger, she goes for a reverse stoppie. She does get it up, and she is going to lay that truck right back on the wheelie bar. She is so good at that. This time she's able to edge the back 2 tires back up into wheelie position and just crawl it, and then a big popper on the backside. It's a combo move for Anderson, and attempt number 2, sky wheelie with a big bounce for Gravedigger. Take a look at the Super Glue Glue to the Action replay. Gets the wheelie right up onto that pod, just inching it in that dirt. 9.339 is the score for Kristen Anderson and Gravedigger. Our next competitor, Blake Granger in Max D. He's going to come off with the stoppie. And now he's going to try to moonwalk the front 2 tires back up onto the pod, stops just short, goes right back out, turns the back tires. Look at the skill, just turning the wheel, and continues with the moonwalk, bounces on the pod, and lands it on the other side. Second attempt popper here from Max D, nails it right into stoppie position, right into a moonwalk, so a triple combo already. Rests it right on the lip of the pod, and now just showing off for the fans here in Pittsburgh. Look at the control from Blake Granger. He's got the rear steer turn one way, the front steer turn the other. That's what we call crab walking in Monster Jam, and Blake Granger putting on a clinic in the Great Clips 2-Wheel Skills Challenge. Fans letting him hear it. They're going to go to work and judge it, but my, oh my, what a run in this competition. Take a look at the Super Glue Glue to the Action replay. Huge popper here for Granger, and look at the score, 8.930. Not going to get it done in the Great Clips 2-Wheel Skills Challenge tonight. Our final competitor, our racing winner, John Zimmer Jr. in terminal velocity. He's going to bring it right down, keeps a wheelie on the backside into a moonwalk, and he's going to run out of room because the 8-pack ran right into the 8-pack. And then trying for reverse stoppie on the backside. Disappointing for our racing winner, 5.488 for terminal velocity. That means our winner in the Great Clips 2-Wheel Skills Challenge, Gravediggers, Kristen Anderson.
Kristen, congratulations on that incredible run. I gotta ask you, when you go into that wheelie and you just suspend there, we've kind of dubbed that the tombstone wheelie. I don't know if you know that, but we've dubbed it that. How do you have that sense of control? What's going on in the truck?
That trick is kind of a little hard. It's a little bit of a mental game because a lot of these guys are coming out here, they're fully committing for those nose wheelies and those moonwalks. They are a very challenging trick. I cannot take it away from the boys. They're doing an excellent job out here, but they're fully committing in forward. I have to fully commit in reverse. I can't see what's behind me. So I think that trick is pretty impressive, and it stands out a little bit because no one else can really do it as well as I can yet. You can see the boys are out there trying to figure out how to do it, but it's one of my signature moves. On top of that, finishing it off with a big sky wheelie. The crowd always loves it. What do you guys think of the 2-wheel skills competition? It was pretty tight, right?
Let's take a look at our overall point standings now after 2 competitions. Kristen Anderson in front with 15 points. Blake Granger with 11. John Zimmer Jr. with 10. Tony Oaks 8. Elvis Linus 7. Kirk Kramer with 6. And Mark Hall and Zach Gardner each with 5 points apiece. We now move on to the donut competition. Our drivers are going to try to go round and round into a donut. Fans judging for momentum, number of revolutions, and speed here. Kirk Kramer, Rammunition, gets us started. And look at the back end of that truck, low center of gravity, front left wheel is up. That's what you want to look for, and you want to watch that dirt roost. So a perfectly executed donut and a 6.913 for Kirk Kramer. Next up, also representing Hall Brothers Racing, Mark Hall in Raminator, and he is going to go over. I said this dirt was tacky, and it's sure showing itself right there. 4.593 as Raminator goes over in the first revolution. Kristen Anderson, Gravedigger, she does her donuts just like her dad, Dennis Anderson, the legendary creator of Gravedigger. She's going to go to the other side of the track and try to get a groove going. Not much there for her, 7.126, currently in the lead. And now John Zimmer Jr., terminal velocity, going to try to top that score from Gravedigger. Round and round he goes. He's got a great rhythm going on in that truck, and he's got the wheel out the window. So terminal velocity's John Zimmer Jr. showing off for the fans. A 9.273. There is your new donut leader, John Zimmer Jr., terminal velocity. Next competitor, Tony Oaks, Soldier Fortune, Black Ops. And he's going to swing that truck out wide, try to miss that tacky dirt right in the turn. So he goes right almost perpendicular to the other side of the pod, and he's got a great rhythm. So a great move and a different strategy now for Tony Oaks, going to the donut in a different spot, and it pays off big time. 9.353. Tony Oaks is your new leader. Next up at Donut, Zach Gardner in Wildside. He's going to whip the backside of that 12,000-pound truck all the way through. Almost hits the pod, does hit the pod, and that will cause his run to come short. 7.126 the score for Wildside. Elvis Linus, El Toro Loco up next. The front part of that truck, the nose of the bull, the mouth gone. And there's the smoke coming out of the front, not going to stop him at all. Has it right in the middle of that track. And 8.621 for Elvis Linus in donuts, not quite enough to take the lead. And our final competitor here, Blake Granger in Max D. And he's got a cyclone going on, hasn't even started yet, but that side of the truck completely off the ground, and it is not stopping Blake Granger. He is going to town on the dirt. Great donut for Max D's Blake Granger. Is it enough to take the lead? 8.898, not quite enough. That means the winner of the donut competition is Tony Oaks, Soldier Fortune, Black Ops, waving the terrible towel here in Pittsburgh. Let's go down to Christina.
Tony, congratulations on that incredible donut win. How does it feel to secure a win right here in your hometown of Pittsburgh?
Oh man, it's awesome. I gotta tell you, I've been a Pittsburgh Steelers fan since I came out of the womb. You know, I live 60 minutes from here. Yins are awesome. You know, I knew I had to come out here and lay down a super awesome donut for you guys, because in racing, you know, we kind of messed up on the turn. But, you know, we're going to come in for freestyle. That's next. We didn't come here to do all that other stuff. We came here to freestyle. Pittsburgh, hold on to your butts, because it's about to get hot.
So Tony Oaks, no hometown curse right now. He's right in the thick of it as we take a look at our overall point standings. Kristen Anderson still with the lead, 18 points. John Zimmer Jr., Blake Granger tied at 17. Tony Oaks with 16. Elvis Linus 12. Zach Gardner 9. Kurt Kramer 8. And Mark Hall with 6 points. One competition remains, and it's freestyle. Let's get right to the action. Drivers have 15 seconds to qualify. Use all obstacles on the track. Creativity, technical moves, and combinations are what the fans are looking for. And here is a great move from Kurt Kramer. Comes off the log stack right into a sky wheelie. Would go to the other side of the track, try to get some finesse, couldn't quite get the back two wheels down, and ends up just trying to struggle to get over it. He does, but trying to wheelie that combo, a little finesse action, just missed. Going back for the sky wheelie, here it is, he's got it now, gets the back two tires up on the lip of the pod, and gets a wheelie. So sky wheelie to wheelie combo. Try to get a popper, but brake check. Looks like he's locked up. That back right wheel is locked up, possibly a broken planetary, and that is going to cause Rammunition's run to come to a shortened end here. Let's take a look at Super Glue. Glue to the action replay. Gets a wheelie on the backside of that combo. 5.932 for Kurt Kramer in Rammunition. Next up, Zach Garner in Wildside. One of the young up-and-coming superstars in Monster Jam, came out in 2021 with a bang, winning an event championship at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Dad Jamie Garner, driver and founder of Overboard and Overboard Motorsports, teammate to John Zimmer Jr.'s Terminal Velocity. Big air, nicely done. Didn't brake check, which meant he kept the front two tires up in the air. Huge air, there's your brake check. Gets a little whip action coming off the pod. Into a stoppie, what a technical move for Zach Garner. Great control, almost rolled it and saved it into a stoppie. And that will do it for Wildside. Zach Garner trying to get the fans up on their feet. Take a look at the Super Glue. Glue to the action replay. There's the brake check. Jump comes down hard, lands it, and went right into a stoppie. 7.992. Up next out of Houston, Texas, Elvis Linus, Toro Loco. He comes right off the pod with a whip and clears it, and then on to the double log stack. Whips El Toro Loco back around. Another brake check comes off hard, but he saves it on one wheel. A one-wheel save on top of the pod. It looks like it's complete mud up there, but Elvis Linus with a veteran move for a young superstar. And more big air now for El Toro Loco. Slap wheelie on top of the pod for that move there. Hard to do to get a slap wheelie on top of the pod. Usually see it on the backside coming off. Now into a sky wheelie for Elvis Linus. And that will do it. Body parts of the truck falling everywhere. What a run for Elvis Linus. El Toro Loco getting it done here tonight in Pittsburgh. We take a look at the Super Glue. Glue to the action replay. Brake check, goes to the side, almost completely lost it, and the front right wheel just clicked it into gear in time. 9.369, that's your new leader. Next up, Mark Hall in Raminator. Co-founder of Hall Brothers Racing, a monster truck legend, a monster jam legend. Been around for over 25 years in the business, still going strong. Gets Raminator back around, tries for the sky wheelie, doesn't get the angle, still gets some nice air. And now Mark Hall comes to a stop. That is going to do it. Something going on with the truck. Take a look at the Super Glue. Glue to the action replay. 5.814 is the score for Raminator. Next up, Tony Oaks, Soldier Fortune Black Ops. He has a shot at the event championship, but he's got to do something special here in this freestyle run. 9.369 is the score to beat. Wheelie combo for Tony Oaks. Into a stoppie off the pod. Thought he was going to turn the truck around, but he catches it on the front two BKTs, and now edging into a moonwalk, a nose wheelie, and a triple combo move here in freestyle. And he's going for the 8-pack. He lands it. What a move for Tony Oaks. Lined it up perfectly, accelerated at the right moment. As we take a look at the super glue, glue to the action replay. There's your wow move of the night. Tony Oaks with a backflip, 9.337. 10-year military veteran saluting the crowd here at his hometown show. Up next, Blake Granger, Max D with a sky wheelie. El Toro Loco stays in the lead as Tony Oaks fell just short. Big time brake check for Max D. Comes off hard, lands it on the left side of the truck. And another sky wheelie. Look at the vertical view. Tries for a popper, nothing there on the backside of the jump. Almost a bicycle off the pod. Here's your stoppie. He's got it. He catches it into a moonwalk. Back two wheels are completely vertical. Another great sky wheelie. Brake check. Gets the front end of the truck down into another stoppie. And Blake Granger's got the wheels. There's your crab walk. And there's Max D doing Max D things here at the PPG Arena. Take a look at the super glue. Glue to the action replay for Blake Granger. A lot of technical moves in that run, 7.891. Bit of a low score for a technical freestyle run. So the lead remains with El Toro Loco as Terminal Velocity's John Zimmer Jr. now hits the track. His dad, John Zimmer Sr., a longtime driver of Gravedigger. Worked out at Digger's Dungeon for a long time alongside Dennis Anderson, went on to drive Dragon, and now the crew chief for John Zimmer Jr. And there is a great stoppie. He tries to edge it back up on that jammer side of the pod. Nothing there for Terminal Velocity. Single log jump, comes right down over the double log stack, tried for a stop. He has to keep it going. His time is winding down. Keeps the wheels going, no brake check. Little flame action coming out from underneath Terminal Velocity. Into a donut. We've seen this before. The dirt is starting to roost. He may be having some issues with the truck. That's why he could have went into the donut. 7.636 as we take a look at the super glue. Glue to the action replay. Big time sky wheelie into a stoppie for John Zimmer Jr. Our final competitor here in freestyle, Kristen Anderson, Gravedigger, currently has the overall event lead. This building very special to her. She won her first Monster Jam overall event championship in this room back 5 years ago in 2017. Try to have a full circle moment here tonight. The first female driver of Gravedigger, a Guinness World Record holder, competed on Stadium Championship Series in 2021, bringing Monster Jam back into a new era. And now Kristen Anderson currently with the series points lead and the overall event lead on Arena Championship Series Central. Brings Gravedigger back around. Big time air for Kristen. Comes down hard on the left side of the truck, right on the lip. That's a little hard on the sway bar, but she's able to recover. Tries for a pop, or tries for a stoppie as well. Almost goes over, but she saved it. Double log stack, doesn't brake check there. Great move, keeps her momentum. Now gonna whip Gravedigger back around to the other side, but just runs out of room. Let's take a look at the super glue. Glue to the action replay. 8.099 for Kristen Anderson, which means Elvis Linus, El Toro Loco is going to win freestyle. But let's take a look at the overall point standings. Kristen Anderson does enough to get it done. 24 points. Tony Oaks with 23. Blake Granger with 21. Elvis Linus and John Zimmer Jr. each with 20. So let's go down to the track. Christina Moores with our event champion, Gravediggers, Kristen Anderson.
Congratulations. When this event started, you told these fans you won your very first overall event championship ever here in Pittsburgh. What's going through your mind right now that you started the weekend with a win?
Oh, what a full circle moment. This is so awesome to be standing here holding this trophy again, man. I won this thing almost 5 years ago right here for the very first time in this arena, probably in front of some of you, and here I am doing it again. It feels so good, man. These guys, they're tough to beat. They don't take it easy on me at all just because I'm a girl. We showed them how it was done, baby. That one was for all the little girls in the crowd.
Woo! Give it up one more time for your overall event champion, Kristen Anderson in Gravedigger.
A great night for Kristen Anderson and a great night here for the fans in Pittsburgh. Follow us on social media at Monster Jam. Use the hashtag Monster Jam on all of your posts. We are on the road to World Finals. Kristen Anderson trying to keep the lead in the Central to punch her ticket to Orlando. So much more to come from my host, Christina Moore, and everyone at Monster Jam. Thank you so much and good night. We'll see you next time on Monster Jam.